Your son is sat in the studio, as you said. He's sat over in the corner over there, 16 years old. Based on everything you know about the gut, about food, about our emotions, about stress, and the sort of causal relationship all of these things have with each other, if you could design your son's life to be optimal as it relates to health, can you talk me through I was going to say adjustments, but how you would design that life for him to have an optimal life in 2023 and beyond?
Yeah. So for me, like, if we're talking specifically my son, I look at him now at 16 years old, and I think all of us as parents, like whoever the parents listening to this right now, it's plant seeds by first living it out yourself, right? And living your life as an example instead of sort of preaching and being dogmatic and making it about sort of diet culture. I don't think that that's healthy at all, but it really shift your perspective away from all the things you quote unquote can't have, but really focus just back to all the things you get to have, and avoiding things that don't love you back isn't restrictive. It's self-respect for your body. And really, that's something that I've tried to do with my son and his sister, is really focusing on foods that love him back. So if you want a day in the life of what it would look like, it's funny to see at 16 years old, he starts to own it for himself. It's not this thing that I'm just talking about or a thing that dad does. Now I see him. He actually said to me this the other day. He said that he said that very thing. He's now taking it for himself. He said, I took it for granted for all these years of it was just in the house and this is what his dad was doing. But now this is now he can own it for himself. So I think there's hope for us, because he be the first one to tell you he's a picky eater, and that's okay. And it's really just meeting your kid where they're at and planting seeds. And then at some point, the goal is for them to own it for themselves. So in the morning, he typically does some intermittent fasting in the morning, which isn't for everybody, but at 16 years old, he's working out, he's eating clean. He does sometimes compressed feeding in the morning. So that's something that's not for everybody, but it works for him and I. We both do it.
Why? Why is it good?
Because it's a goal to support metabolic flexibility. Humans would have done this, they just would have called it life because of food availability. Food wasn't always available for our ancestors. And again, most of our genes haven't changed in 10,000 years. So having some intentional time where you're not eating and you're breaking your fast a little bit later in the day, or you're ending your eating window in mid-afternoon, those are two ways that you can do it. Be sensible about it, be moderate about it. If you have, an eating disorder, I wouldn't recommend it. But for the average person that's looking to optimize their health, most of us are in the West stuck in this sugar burning, metabolically inflexible state where we're on this blood sugar roller coaster. We have these insatiable cravings, even if it's for the healthier sugars. And intermittent fasting is a way to sort of train your metabolism to be more resilient, to be more flexible. So then you break the fast around lunchtime is how we typically would do it, where we have lots of vegetables and clean protein, healthy fats like avocados and extra virgin olive oil. And you can have that whole food smoothie with fruits and greens and, some sort of protein powder if you wanted to do that. And it's similar for dinner. And then there's lots of things people can have, but also cultivating these feeling practices to be supportive of the parasympathetic. If we're speaking about my son, I'm so proud of him because I'll walk in his room sometimes and he'll just be on the floor meditating. And we all should be doing that. It's completely free. It's accessible. None of us are good at it. That's why it's called a practice. And the people that say that meditation isn't for them, they're probably the ones that should be doing it the most, and I'm one of those people that where our brain is always going. That's why we should be flexing that mindfulness muscle, because it's freaking weak. So I don't know. Those are some things that
That's impressive. You walk into your son's room and he sat there meditating.
Yeah, more than once.
At least that's what you think he was doing. We're very good at hearing our father coming and quickly
getting the loaded position. Is that your trick, Saul? He's a hand lotus position. He has it down pat.
And what do you struggle with? You know, because I always ask this question to people that know a lot about subject matter, because I always think it's quite disarming to understand that they're imperfect too.
Yeah.
So what do you struggle with as it relates to these?
Oh man,
topics?
I am so imperfect. So I'm prone to anxiety. I'm prone to thinking sort of frenetically of just like all the things I have to do, and not spending enough, really not that much time at all, focusing in the present moment. Back to why I suck at meditation. And that's okay. Like I'm okay with that, because that's why I need to do it. And why I need to do it even more than the average person, probably. So that's what I struggle with. It's really being grounded in the present moment. My mind is thinking about all the things I have to do, my team, my patients, my whatever, the next thing I have to do for the book or the podcast. So that's my goal, is to be better in that area.